Let's go over Disney Star Wars and the future of the Star Wars franchise when it comes to a response by Jon Kasdan, one of the writers of Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, these past couple of days we have been going over the Solo: A Star Wars Story box office results, and it seems to have disappointed both not only Disney and Lucasfilm, but all of the different media sites out there examining all these different aspects of how much money it made. Even the analysts are now predicting that it may not even break even globally when it comes to Solo: A Star Wars Story, so I'll have to wait and see on all of that. One of the responses by Jon Kasdan on Twitter, we recently went over this briefly in my last video, where he states, "Look, fell short of expectations isn't what anyone hopes to hear in the bedroom or at the box office, but mostly I'm just thrilled by the reaction to Solo." Now, the second part is something that has a lot of people talking about this today, and this is where Jon Kasdan says this: "And if you want more underworld stories, keep asking Disney and Lucasfilm for them. Believe it or not, they listen." So what he's saying is, believe it or not, both Disney and Lucasfilm listen to the fans and what they want for the Star Wars franchise. Now, I don't know if you guys either agree or disagree with that second part of Jon Kasdan's statement on Twitter. In that tweet, do you guys disagree or agree with that? Does Disney listen to the fans when it comes to the Star Wars franchise? Now, I will say this, I do gotta give Ron Howard, the director, a whole lot of credit when it comes to the Han Solo film, is because he really implemented a lot, and I mean a lot, of Legends material. If you guys really do a lot of studying on this movie and really look hard into it, there's a lot of Legends material, a lot of stuff from the EU that is now introduced into the Disney canon. And there's a lot of connections to the Clone Wars as well, which is really great. Not only that, we got that amazing cameo at the very end of the film, which a lot of people loved, but some people would debate on whether or not that was a cheap thing and wasn't necessary. But looking at the Disney Star Wars, franchise, the Star Wars franchise moving forward, will Disney listen to the fans exactly, and have they been listening to the fans? Now, I want to bring up a couple examples here, and I will say that, when we're looking at Disney as a company, Lucasfilm specifically, alright, I think that one thing that a lot of people asked for many, many years ago, you guys may remember this, well before The Force Awakens even came out, well before they even began filming, a lot of people were asking for Luke Skywalker to have a lot of action in that movie to show how amazing of a Jedi and as a master he really would be at that age. Everybody wanted to see Luke Skywalker as an older man, but yet a more powerful figure than how he was in the original trilogy. So they gave us that 30-second tease at the very end of The Force Awakens, so we figured we would get that in The Last Jedi. Now, this is where The Last Jedi comes into play, where some of you guys, or maybe even a lot of you out there, would disagree that Disney listens to the fans because of how the character of Luke was treated in that movie. Now, I for one will say I believe that Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson could have really treated Luke Skywalker a whole lot better in that movie, and hence, I'm not quite sure if Disney really listened to the fans on the character of Luke Skywalker and where that story should have gone, especially with the character of Rey and how they interacted with each other. Now, looking at everything else, the other thing is that, of course, a lot of people want Ewan McGregor to reprise his role in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie, which, by the way, right now it's in the early works. They haven't even begun the script just yet. They will begin, scripting at the very end of this summer, and they are actually aimed to film at the very beginning of 2019 in April. Now, looking at, everything here, if they weren't to cast Ewan McGregor, I think that would be a prime example that Disney essentially is not listening to the fans, at least at that point in time, because we all want Ewan back, right? We all want Ewan McGregor to step back on board into the franchise and portray the character once more, even if it's just one movie. I think that's everything 100% of the fans want to see. I don't think that a recast of the character would necessarily work. I don't think it would really work well at all, and I think it really would cause a lot of people to shy away from that movie indefinitely. Now, looking at everything else, a lot of the fans also want to see the Old Republic come into live action movies, which maybe Disney will listen to that because the Game of Thrones and the creators of that show are developing a set of Star Wars movies. And I honestly and wholeheartedly believe that that will be the Old Republic, era. If it's not, I would be honestly very, very surprised. So it's really hard to say at this point in time right now on whether or not Disney listens to the fans. I think that I would like to say that they do listen to the fans partially, but there's also a lot of things that they are not listening to. Now, the biggest thing is, of course, the agendas in the Star Wars franchise, which I have gone over numerous times in my past videos. I won't take too much of your time on that subject right now, but I feel like the agendas have to go when it comes to the overall franchise. One would argue that there's not too many agendas in this franchise, and if that's your point of view, that's A-okay with me, but I do notice quite a number of them in quite a number of these Disney-era Star Wars movies, and I feel like that they just have to go. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think overall about Disney. Do you think Jon Kasdan's statement there lines up accurately with exactly how Disney and Lucasfilm respond to the fans? Do they listen to the fans is the biggest question of today, and it's something that everybody is talking about right now. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.